Cyberpunk 2077, the biggest game of 2020, is finally here in all of its buggy glory. And with this game comes an entire alternate timeline in which the year is 2077. The US is characterized by extreme inequality, which has led it to basically falling apart into civil war. Sound familiar? Now that's pretty fascinating, but for me as a monetary economist, one of the most fascinating things about the alternate cyberpunk timeline is the rising of a new global currency, the Eurodollar, otherwise known on the streets as eddies. But what are eddies? And how did they defeat the once mighty US dollar? And also, why would Night City, a free city-state located in California, use a European currency? These are the questions that will be answered in this video. The official currency in Night City is the Eurodollar. Eurodollars are issued by the European Bank, which is a public institution that serves the European Economic Community, EEC for short. What's a bit confusing about this cyberpunk Eurodollar is that it has the same name as our real-world Eurodollar. However, these currencies couldn't be more different. In our world, Eurodollars are US dollars that have been created by banks outside of the US, mainly in Europe, hence the name Eurodollars. But in Cyberpunk, the Eurodollar is basically the same as the euro. After all, it is the official currency of the EEC, which is pretty much the European Union. So basically, the people of Night City, an independent city-state in California, are using the cyberpunk equivalent of the euro. That seems pretty weird. So how did this happen? In the world of Cyberpunk 2077, the European Economic Community established its own currency, the Eurodollar, in 1992. This is the same year that the Maastricht Treaty was signed, the treaty that established the euro in our own timeline. At the time, the US was the global superpower and the dollar was still king. So far, the timelines are thus pretty similar. However, there was one development which led to a major divergence in the cyberpunk monetary timeline. This development was set in motion by what is known as the Gang of Four, the spy agencies NSA, CIA, FBI and DEA secretly took control of the United States, and in the European Economic Community they saw the emergence of a major unwanted rival. Clearly, if only they had waited, they would have found out that the European politicians are too incompetent to create a real superpower to rival the US. But they didn't. Instead, they started manipulating global financial markets to make the US seem more powerful than it really was. Big mistake, since all the European politicians had to do was leak this information to the media, and leaking information to the media just happens to be something that European politicians are actually pretty good at. When financial markets found out about the manipulation, this led to a major financial market crash in 1994. This crash was so big that it made our own market crash of 2008 look like a normal day in Bitcoin markets. The 1994 crash led to the implosion of the US economy and the demise of the US dollar as the reserve currency. At that point, there was only one competitor that could replace it, the Eurodollar. And so it happened. This is when eddies achieved monetary superpower status, with even other major superpowers like the Soviet Union and Japan adopting it as their official currency at some point in time. And with the eddy dominating the international monetary order, it now makes a lot more sense that an internationally focused city of commerce like Night City would adopt it as their own. Their situation is actually pretty similar to that of Hong Kong. While the official currency of Hong Kong is the Hong Kong dollar, it's pegged to the US dollar and not the Chinese renminbi. What Night City did was just take it one step further, and that is adopting a foreign currency as its own. After all, not having to transfer money into local currency at all is very convenient for the mega corporations dominating Night City. For comparison, fully adopting a foreign currency puts Night City in the same monetary category as Panama and Liberia, two countries that are fully dollarized in our own world. So that's why Night City uses eddies and not dollars as their currency of choice. If you found this video interesting, consider leaving a like. And if you're interested in the monetary economics of alternate worlds such as cyberpunk, but also and especially in the monetary economics of our own world, then consider subscribing to the Money and Macro YouTube channel, because that is what we're all about here.